So since I'm not going into the movies this week, since there's not a lot of good movies came out this week, or I'm interested in seeing, like Battleship, The Dictator, and Dark Shadows, I decided to do a Blu-ray update, which is my first one. Now I bought some of these Blu-rays. Now I bought a Blu-ray disc player about a few months ago, and I collected some Blu-rays. It's not a lot, but over the months I collected some Blu-ray movies. Now, the reason why I bought Blu-ray movies is because, if you guys notice, DVDs have very rare special features on them, and Blu-rays have tons and tons of special features on it. So, when I bought a DVD, I felt like I was getting gypped. But now, with Blu-rays, I get the whole special features. But let me just get into my collection. Now, when I bought Blu-rays, I tried to buy. My main goal was to buy movies that I never had on DVD, but I made an exception with this first movie I picked up on Blu-ray, which is my first Blu-ray disc I bought, and that's the Incredible Hulk. And this has to be one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic movies. See this on Blu-ray? The picture quality on this movie is amazing. In the Blu-ray, you see a little like 2-second scenes that you don't see in the DVD. And it was pretty good in The Incredible Hulk, and my favorite Marvel Cinematic movie. Now, next we got up is one of my favorite movies. I don't know why, but I just like this movie compared to the other ones. Now, and that movie is Fast and Furious, which is the 4th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't know. For some reason, I just like this movie. I couldn't stand Tokyo Drift. It was just like god awful, and I refused to even watch that movie ever. And with this one, with Fast and Furious, I just liked it. I like how it leads up to Fast 5. And it has great picture quality as well. Now a lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people for this next movie really didn't like this movie. But for me, I'm the type of guy that likes a type of movie where you're against all odds, that you have slim chances of coming out alive. This movie I'm talking about is Battle LA. Now, you're probably going to get on me, I know, but for some reason, I know this is not like a all-star caliber movie or whatever, but for me personally, I kind of like this movie. Now, yeah, it does have a few, scenes that doesn't really need to be in there, and some scenes that really didn't make sense in it, but I particularly like this movie. I particularly like war movies that, like I said before, you're against all odds and that your back is against the wall, but I kind of like Battle Los Angeles. Now, next movie I got on Blu-ray is one of the surprises of 2011, and that is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this movie, when I went to go see it, I was really surprised with it. Andy Serkis, who did Caesar in the movie, did a great job. He had the emotions and characteristics of an ape. And pretty much he was the star of the movie. And you got James Franco in the movie, but pretty much the star of the movie was Caesar and Andy Serkis, and he did an amazing job with the CGI work, and it was really good in this movie. And one of my favorite movies of 2011. The next movie I did not see on in the movies. I was recommended by a friend of mine to go see to pick it up. Now, usually I don't go by word of mouth. I like to see it before I buy it, because sometimes I really get disappointed with recommendations. And plus, sometimes when people recommend things to you, they have a different taste of movie than you have. So I kind of went on a blind buy by it, and this is the first blind buy that I did that I enjoyed, and that movie is Drive. Now, this is not like a Fast and Furious movie. If you think it's a Fast and Furious movie, then you're really going to be disappointed, because it's not. Now, Ryan Gosling in this movie, for me personally, I think he gave a scary performance in this movie. He had he was like a loner type character in the movie, and his performance in this movie was really scary in this movie, and it was really scarily good. Ryan Gosling, I think, in a year or two from now, he's going to be nominated for Oscars and all these awards, and I think he's underrated as an actor. I think he did a good job in this movie, and this is one of the best movies of 2011. And this is just great. I had to pick it up. This next movie I got on Blu-ray is one of the movies that Jennifer Aniston cannot watch, see, or she'll probably just shoot herself for even watching it. That is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Now I think this is pretty much a fun movie to go watch. Now the movie was great, the action was great, the story was good, and of course the two main stars had chemistry. That's why Jennifer Aniston can't watch it anymore. The last two Blu-rays I got picked up recently, and I highly recommend you guys pick it up. Highly recommend. Now, it's one of the best. These are some of the best movies I picked up, and that is Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. This movie is good, non-stop, perfect, amazing, and Tom Cruise for me has to be one of the coolest actors we have out there. This guy, Tom Cruise, is dedicated to what he does, and he's always whatever role Tom Cruise does, he is dedicated. He goes 110% every time. And for a guy who's pushing 40, I think he's 40. For a guy who's pushing 50, he's about 48, 49. To still do his own stunts, I find it amazing for him to still do it. And this has to be one of the best Mission Impossibles we got out there. The picture quality in this movie is great, especially when you see that scene off the building. I highly recommend you guys picking it up if you have not picked it up already. Please pick it up. This is a great movie of 2011. I've never seen it in IMAX. It was just great. Now, the next movie is another movie I highly recommend that just came out this past week, and that is Chronicle. Now, when I was lucky enough that when I went to FYE, it was the last Blu-ray disc that they had of Chronicle, because I was not going to buy it on DVD. Now, one thing if you buy this movie, you have to realize that this is not, in my opinion, not a superhero movie whatsoever. It's not. Because if you're looking for a superhero movie and you buy this movie, then you're gonna be highly disappointed. This movie is pretty much about regular guys in a regular life who they find something which gives them powers or telekinesis, and now they find different ways how to use those particular powers. That's to make jokes in front of people. But by all means, this is not a superhero movie. It's pretty much it's a found footage movie, so it's different. It's different from any other movies that you normally see. So it's pretty much coming from the view of a camera, of somebody's camera. So every scene you see in this movie is from a camera angle. But I recommend that you watch the director's cut. I think the director's cut is much better than the theatrical version. But the theatrical version is the regular version that came out in the movies is good. But I feel that the director's cut is a lot better. It gets more heart and more depth into it. And yeah, Chronicle, yeah. So, highly recommend for you picking up Chronicle. Really good movie. One of my favorite movies of 2012. So these are my Blu-ray pictures that I picked up recently. Let me know what you think of my collection. So please rate, comment, subscribe. Subscribing does help. And until next time, Movie Nation.